Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, Patreon, and anything else I usually go about on Twitter X. Later today, I'll be able to publish a Death Stranding episode, and we already have some complete gameplay series here. As usual, everything is displayed on the main page of the channel. So let's go for some news. Similarly, RTX 5090 Double D is going to be launched on August 12th in China. This time, according to the new specs, is only will be carrying out 24 gigabytes of memory of VRAM there. And with that, the memory bus width is also going to be limited a little bit there. I think it's the same as the 4090 in terms of specs, if not mistaken, in terms of memory. And of course, it's not GDR6X, it's GDR7. Again, I'm still curious about what are the, given all the restrictions that we've been seeing from AI accelerators and all that jazz for China. I'm not sure how this will impact gaming performance, given that it has kind of the same CUDA cores and even the total board power and TGP or total graphics power is basically the same as the normal 5090. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be restricted in a sense by software or firmware or something like that. But yeah, it's interesting to see the only thing they tweaked around here, even comparatively with the 5090D, the first version. It was basically same. I will have to assume that is something that they are going to do on the firmware or the BIOS of the GPUs there, but I'm not exactly sure how this can impact gaming performance. But I will assume this will affect the performance terms, the AI workloads and the such, which is usually what a lot of the market in China is trying to get around here in terms of small, medium companies, I assume. But yeah, interesting stuff to see. Let's see if it is August 12th indeed or not, or if there's needs to be some kind of more tweaking around this kind of restrictions. In terms of other stuff regarding hardware, got some a little bit of update regarding DDR6. It will take a while to come out. Supposedly, mass adoption on the DIY market or consumer market should be around 2027. Um, and supposedly they're going to get in the how they call it new slot design, which is the Cam 2 designs, which is we got this one kind of a showcase of the design. They are still tweaking around this because at the moment what we have here is you need three screws to put the memory in place. I think they are working on tools-free mechanisms to secure the memory in place. I think again, this design by itself it improves a lot in terms of achievable speeds. Even with the DDR5, you can improve a lot. But again, this is still in the initial phases of this format of memory. But something interesting regarding DDR6, again, it will start up with including on like not the consumer market. The adoption will start for sure with server stuff there, where it's usually companies can justify having this kind of new technology being faster to make money out of it per se, so they can take the hit of this new technology. Usually it's more expensive, and then the early adoption will take from there, and then we will start seeing trickle down on the consumer market on high-end motherboards, as we've been seeing here even with this format with the DDR5 memories on the Cam 2 format. And then we eventually will have a mass adoption. But again, I think this will start off on probably late 2027, or probably the mass adoption in the average consumer might be around 2028. So it will take a time. But the interesting thing here is the fact of the speeds that it can reach. Basically, the new standard for DDR6 is around about 8800 megatransfers per second, which is an 83% increase over the DDR baseline when it came out, which was around 4800 megatransfers per second. And it can reach supposedly around about 17,600 megatransfer speed. Again, this is as the DDR6 matures in terms of technology, the hardware will catch up and be able to start reaching these speeds. The architecture is also moving for a 4 times 24-bit channel, instead of the 2 by 32-bit channel that we have on the DDR5. Again, supposedly it will reach the capabilities in terms of how much RAM you can add, and the support there in terms of quantity of RAM will increase, if not mistaken. That's at least my sense there, given that 4 by 24 is more than 2 by 32. But yeah, it's good to see. At this moment, again, in terms of averages, we've been seeing some DDR5 reaching between 8,000 to 900 megatransfers per second, even on Ryzen platforms. Hopefully, I think Zen 6 will take into account the new, I assume, the new DDR6 speeds and support there. Because if not mistaken, I think I covered that yesterday. The Zen 6 will have like dual memory controllers or two memory controllers. So I assume it's something that can be can support in the future DDR6. Hopefully, but again, I'm not sure. Given that we need Cam to design for it to be able to support that, probably we'll be seeing some support there, but again, I think it's going to be a little bit finicky. Probably, I think the second generation of UDNA, so probably Zen 7 and RDNA 6 or something like that, in that sense, will overall everything to a new platform. I'm assuming AM6 to those motherboards can get the Cam2 adoption. I also don't see a way of them to have like a stage where they can support both of these memories. I don't see that. I think we're going to see probably an adoption in one of those new generation CPUs and jumping forward to DDR6. At least that's my assumption. I would see like a mixed motherboard that can accept DDR DIMM slots and CAM2 slots. I think it's a little bit tricky and too complicated and too expensive to incorporate these two technologies. But yeah, it will still take a while regardless. So at least we keep an eye on this and see the possibilities of when we upgrade the components there, if it's going to be worth or not. Going about, I think it's going to be good because I think DDR is still a little lacking behind in terms of what it can do comparatively what we have on the CPU side of things. Hopefully, we'll see some catching up with DDR6. Hopefully, in terms of games, Wuchang Fallen Feathers is out. I caught up here a review here from WCCF Tech. It seems to be kind of a good game. So between around about 7.5 out of 10. Again, the pros, I'm just going for the highlights. I need to see more reviews to have a better sense. Seems to be a fairly interesting setting, engaging combat powered by interconnected mechanics that work together well, which is always good to see, and decent enemy variety with some standout bosses, which is always good to see. In terms of not so good, seems to be having like an average world design. You basically need to activate the upscalers and frame generation to achieve high frame rates, which is not good. There are some stuttering issues. I think this game is from Unreal Engine 5, if not mistaken, so that's that. And despite some interesting game mechanics, the experience relies too much on the classic Souls-like format. For me, I don't see a huge issue on that. I think the main concern here from the review seems to be regarding optimization and performance on the PC side of things. At least that's the sense that I got here from this pros and cons portion of the game itself. Yeah, we'll have to. I will have to wait and see more reviews here, but it seems that again, that it's a decent game. But yeah, we will have to wait and see how this game performs well on the overall PCs, which doesn't seem to be that good. I don't even notice which kind of. I might want to check here if there is the system that it's using for this review here, which is something that okay. Little consider good. My machine, so 4080, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 4K resolution. Again, DLA, eye settings average. Yeah, this is not good without frame generation. Oh, benchmark session, which usually it's the easier part to process there. Turns the game things fair better 1440p. Yeah, it seems that from the text here that the game is not well optimized for the moment being. Again, it's a plague with Unreal Engine games, which I think this is the case of this game of not being very well optimized. But hopefully at least the core gameplay mechanics and the setting and the story is interesting enough, so we can justify waiting a little bit longer for better optimizations on the game. In other stuff, we got more things regarding the Ubisoft annual conference, not conference, investors calls and all that jazz. Again, they are trying to make the numbers good on Assassin's Creed Shadow. Again, the thing here continues. They say they continue to perform well after reaching 3 million players. Again, the thing here with the players, not sales, by the end of March, the game has now surpassed 5 million unique players. Again, this doesn't mean anything in terms of sales, cannot translate directly there. Who have collectively performed, again, try to pull up big numbers here, like 2 billion stealth kills, travel 1 billion kilometers, and petted 38 million animals. Doesn't mean anything. In terms of sales, this you cannot translate these numbers into sales. So it's trying to disguise how badly this game is performing. And they justified that this financial quarter is still reported lower than anticipated. Again, of course, because again, you have a game that was launched this year. It's still only managed to reach 5 million unique players, which is very bad because we've got Game Pass system there. That for sure a lot of people tried and probably saw that the game was not good and might be quitting. In terms of sales, again, I don't know, maybe in a best light here, 3 million sales. Even though again, it's not enough for them to call this a win in terms of getting some not revenue profits with this game here. Again, usually these games with the amount of budgets that they have, these quadruple A games, as Ubisoft like to call it, I don't know, between 10 million copies for them to sell in 1 year. I think you can justify to be kind of getting even on that. But lower than that, I don't see them making a profit if they don't sell around about those numbers. And they continue here. The first quarter delivered mixed results. On the positive side, Assassin's Creed Shadow delivered on its expectation. And the expectation they're trying to justify is the 5 million unique players since its launch, which doesn't mean any numbers in sales again. And Rainbow Six Siege X, which is kind of the new version, which is now supposedly, I think, free to play. And then the monetization scheme is basically what they're making money out of this game now. Because before, I think it was a full price game. Now it's free to play with monetization, microtransactions, and all that jazz. Again, this game, they say they receive highly positive player feedback thanks to its renewed gameplay and enhanced features that drove significant player engagement growth. Okay, maybe because it was free to play, some people took a chance there, and then the player engagement growth a little bit there. However, player spending, of course, in the game faced temporary but significant disruptions due to the technical pricing issues. Again, because it was a full price game, then we have like the extra stuff there in terms of microtransactions. When it stopped getting the money out of the full price game, and started being a free to play game. Again, people are more reticent in spending game. in this kind of scheme of free to play games, because again, free to play games comes in minds, at least on the mind share of players, that the probably you might play a few hours, enjoy a little bit the progression there, but then you start usually noticing that for you to advance at a good pace, you need to start spending money to keep that in that pace there. Again, usually it's what happens. But yeah, the technical pricing issues which have now been identified and addressed. I don't know exactly. I'm not in the weeds of the Rainbow Six Siege game. And yeah, despite this one-off setback, the growth potential of the game is strong with solid traction on activity and in-game spending. Again, it's just projections and wishful thinking to a certain degree here. And also, Ubisoft noted that the other two causes for lower net bookings include a partnership that is now expected to materialize in quarter two, and to a lesser extent, an unfavorable foreign exchange impact. Again, platitudes, they don't enter, they just talk about platitudes, which is very difficult to infer from. Again, I don't know how these investors just gobble up this corporate speak. Again, I'm not sure why they do that. I think they need to start pressuring a little bit more these CEOs when these quarterly earnings. Again, this just platitudes and double speak, which is just projecting always good things, but at the end of the day, everything falls apart to a certain extent. But yeah, Guillemot then added that Ubisoft will continue creating so-called creative houses. The hope is that these business units will boost creative vision and business performance. And the first one is, of course, the subsidiary announced earlier this year. The subsidiary, which is the thing that they put all the big IPs in one thing, with Tencent owning almost half of that, which will set to oversee the Rainbow Six, Far Cry, and Assassin's Creed franchise. As confirmed recently, it will be led by Christopher Derenay and Yves Guillemot on Sun, so a little bit of staying in the family business there. And also for Assassin's Creed Shadow expansion clause of whatever this is, Ubisoft only reiterated that it's coming in their fiscal quarter two, and it will offer more than 10 hours new content as well, weapon skills, abilities, and all that shit. But yeah, it's not going good. When you start putting shit and start blaming the customers why you're not buying our shit, then you get this kind of mixed results at least, and you have to try to divert numbers that are not sales that can be then converted to profits. Yeah, usually that's what happens in the corporate world on the company level. We will see some more shit happening in Ubisoft till the end of the year for sure, because the creation of this new subsidiary is not finalized, I think, and it's something that it's going to be finalized in a year or so, if not mistaken. So a lot of stuff can happen until then. There is some minority stakeholder shareholders inside Ubisoft that they are going against this, because again, it's basically trying to remove some assets from Ubisoft and put it on a subsidiary where these minority shareholders don't have a say on it, which is going to be interesting to see how that will unfold. On other stuff, we got Supermassive Games. They confirmed more for 36 people more let go. They already had when they already had a layoff um, beginning of the year, I think. I think I saw this on this article. Oh, again, this 36-person adapt our team structure to better align with the changes and challenges of the video game industry. So they really don't know what they're doing there. And this Directive 8020, which doesn't seem to be a good game, from what I've been seeing from or what I saw from the trailer itself, which I think they did it on the announcement of the Game Awards last year. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a pretty good game. A little bit convoluted there. Which was due to launch this October has been delayed to 2026. Again, the delay that they are saying is again to because they have seen a lot of good interest and positive feedback. They want to take the extra time to fine tune and polish the game. That's the excuse there. Um, they are going to launch the Little Nightmares 3, which is supposedly coming out October 10th this year. But again, supposedly even this layoffs did not impact the team that it's developing Little Nightmares 3. Again, the fact that it doesn't have impact on the development doesn't mean that people from that team weren't fired. Again, the fact that it doesn't have impact, it doesn't mean that people weren't fired. I don't see it any other way. But yeah. Um, Here, sorry. February 2024, it's right at the end. Supermassive Games laid off a third of its staff, once again citing challenges in the changing video game industry. I don't remember off the top of my head which more games they launched in this recent couple of years. The name is not strange, but yeah, I think they are not launching good games so far. Again, the Directive 8020, same studio. Again, I don't remember the game, but I think it was a game from them that didn't do well. The last one that they launched, which is interesting, the least. And then lastly, I'm going to leave here a video from Madame Savi or Madame Savi. She usually, when she does some more in-depth dives on certain topics, she usually go about in a pretty good fashion. And this one has to do with the collective shout. So the group, the advocacy group, or so-called, the Australian-based advocacy group that is at this moment the latest one was banning some games on Steam, the adult games that were basically banned from Steam because of the payment processor. Sorry, that Steam had to cater to them moral ethics and all that jazz. Again, my opinion with this one, from what I've been seeing from this collective shout, it's kind of in the same line of trying to justify, like Sweet Baby Inc., saying that they want to put more inclusive voices and inclusive development persons on teams to move forward the quality of the games themselves. This is kind of the same thing, but this one is to try to censor and ban content on the market, wherever it's digital or not. This collective group also did manage to ban from, I think, Target or something like that, the GTA 5 game out of shelves, because of how supposedly the player could treat the prostitutes there. And I think that the integration of the image and the objectification of women, but they also go about on other stuff there, especially the one of the co-founders or the founder of this collective group. Again, they are all over the place trying to put out their own agenda, which is basically censor stuff. And they basically are not even doing what they claim to be, or the purpose of what this group was founded for, which I do agree, which is for example, protect kids or even women from the porn industry, things that might have some more impact. I think I also, if not mistaken, they also um, talk about trafficking, women trafficking, and all that shit. I think that those are pretty good causes, and they can have a real impact on people's lives. But to start banning digital content that is targeted to adults, and that digital content, it's not breaking any kind of law where it's being sold. I don't see the reason to censor. Again, censorship does start usually with things that people might consider offensive or out of bounds, but they are not illegal. They usually start from the fringes when they want to start censoring stuff. And then eventually it will trickle down to the things that you think they are okay. And then when you start seeing the censorship and the banning of whatever it is, content or whatever it is, then it's kind of a little bit too late, because again, then it's kind of common to censor everything that certain authorities or so-claimed authorities think that it's offensible and bannable. Again, the fact that it is offensive to you doesn't mean that needs to be banned. And to a certain degree, as a principle, I adopt the stance of free speech. And I think these things can only be combated with better ideas and fighting, even if it need to be legally regarding these situations, because these people need to be at the minimum shamed. um, I will probably will try to find them and call the attention of these kind of things on X. I don't know, even though I don't have a lot of time to do that. That's one of those things. But yeah, this needs to be called out to attention, because again, they're trying to censor and ban and dictate what people can do or not with their hobbies. Again, I'm not a fan of this kind of porn games and all of that jazz. Some of them call the attention of incest games. Again, um, it's not for me. It's not something that I like. If it didn't exist, I wouldn't care less. But the fact that it exists and people do like or do want to try it out, these games, and they have the over the age, and it's not something that it's illegal. I don't see why you should censor that. For sure, there are things that I like. There are vanilla stuff that a lot of people don't like, but I don't think it should be banned. It comes about in both ways. Again, as long as it's not illegal. To make something legal, so usually the perfect process is everybody bands together and decides in unison that again, this is out of bounds, this should be made illegal because it hurts um, persons or whatever it is, depending on what we're talking about, and then we make it into law to make it illegal certain activities or certain things. I think then you can say again, it's an illegal stuff. But yeah, other than that, when you start going on this route, it will not only be the porn games. It will start being any game that has, I don't know, um, a sword because swords are offensive, or because it has some kind of, I don't know, whatever it is. They will start picking on it and trying to emote their way in banning stuff that they don't like, just because it's a little bit also the power trip thing there, that you basically think you are the hero of your own story, and you think that that thing is a bad thing, so you are self-entitled and justified to uh, battle through that and make it something that it's you consider offensive to be bannable or censored. Yeah, I don't like that, and I think it's common sense. People don't like that. To keep trying to see people trying to dictate what you can or cannot do on your hobby, on your spare time, on a hobby like gaming, to dictate what you or cannot play with. But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. We got still Plague Tale Requiem and Plague Tale Innocence on sale. They can both be purchased with a bundle or individual, and they are on sale. We got Atomic Heart. I'm tempted on buying this and starting recording a series on this, but yeah, I need to figure it out. I still have a lot of backlog there, but yeah, at this moment 70% off, which is a good price. We got Bioshock the collection, 80% off around about a day or so until the deal is over. Cocoon, it's the same thing, 40% off around about a day or so until it's over. Hardspace Shipbreaker, it's kind of a simulation game, very interesting, the concept there. Very positive feedback from everybody, and it's 55% off. We got also Journey, around about a day or so, 67% off. I do recommend this game. I played this game on console long time ago. I think a little bit after it came out, and I do liked. I did like this game. Got also Jusant. I can vouch for this one. Got a step of recommendation. 55% off. I did a gaming series on this. If you want to check what the game is about, you can check out the first couple episodes to have an idea. But I did enjoy the game and the story that it has to tell. Got Liza P. 50% off, and a bundle with the Overture DLC, 33% off. We got No Man's Sky, 60% off, 20 plus content updates that already did, huge content updates that basically revolutionized the game itself. Then we got Pacific Drive, 50% off on the base game. And lastly, we got still Red Dead Redemption 2, round about a day or so till this deal is over. So 75% on the base game and 80% on the Ultimate Edition. But yeah, I'll wrap up here with a plug my Patreon as usual. For access port, again, the access port is more aligned for me to, at this moment in time, try to get a better storage solution so I can have backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course, some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.